And it's live.
Oh,
How to do,
hiya.
everybody? Some of y'all haven't heard, but Lena Rodriguez is in town, and so she was here. We visited, and but also some of you also don't realize I don't live in Portland, and so we're not in the same space. When we were in the same space, and I tried to take a video, we looked like Martians because the
Yeah, that's
signal was very bad. So how's your visit been? Has it been good?
I've had a great time, and Portland is really cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm really impressed just strolling around the city. Apparently, they've done a miracle job on the homeless, literally in the last few weeks or something. I don't know where they've put them.
They knew you were coming. Just like
They
just like
knew.
the weather had participated for your visit to
I
it.
know, because that was the thing I was most dreading.
Mhm,
Legendary numbers, and we'll see what's happening. But at the moment, I wouldn't have seen more than 6 or 8 homeless
mhm.
walking around the whole city.
Instead of 50 and 60, how it usually is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been nice too. Like the weather's cooperated,
Oh, it's
and
been gorgeous.
you know I
Mm.
told everybody on the live stream earlier that we were supposed to go out for Indian food, and I make this whole fuss about never having it, and I don't like the smell, and I don't think I'll like it, and all that. And so there was a agenda to take me to a Indian restaurant, and then we rolled up into it. And the one day that they are closed, is the one day we arrived. It's like,
And I think that's your guardian angels, Johnny, having a big laugh.
and it's weird because it's a Tuesday. It's not like they're closed on Thursday or Sunday,
Monday,
or
yeah,
no,
you
it's a
come.
Tuesday. It's like we're closed at a weird day of the week, and so that was for me. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah, that was funny.
but yeah,
And we also saw that hawk
we
catch
saw a
something.
fight
Woo, that was
in
an
the tallest
adventure.
building in Portland. We look out the window, and then there's two hawks fighting outside. It was fun. It was dinner
Yeah,
and the show, is what I said. So it was. We're sitting there eating stuff that I can't pronounce, and then
and
I
all of
look
that.
out the window, and then there they are, just clashing in the air.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
So we got a few questions
I bet it.
tonight. Everybody's heard the news, and again, I think more people were excited that Tucker Carlson got fired than they were that Donald Trump got indicted. It was weird. It was like,
It's big, isn't it? It's symbolic on some level. It's like,
yes,
whoa, you know.
I'm just glad it happened. I know that it's you shouldn't relish in other people's misery, but
Mm,
this is a person who is just like the rest of them, not by himself, I will say, responsible for some of the downfall of this country because they get on TV every day and just lie. And then they convince a section of our population they're always under attack and somebody's always coming to get you and there's a war on this and a war on that. So he needs to go as long as the rest of them go too. But anyhow,
mm, mm.
so what I do want to know first is what will the fallout be between him and Fox? Will he continue because he has a lawyer? Will he go after them for jillions of dollars? Will
All
he suck
right.
it up and move on?
So
What's going to happen there? Hope I think Lena froze. What's going to happen there? It's all that mystic time traveling she was doing. She's come back from the future to see us. What's going to happen there? I also have to mention too, because we were in the car the other day, and I was chastened and rebuked because no, it should be on. I don't know. Let me see. I was chastened and rebuked because I have a deck that somebody bought me and that they say I barely use. I'm like, only have like 280 of them, so they get in rotation, but I'm using it tonight, just so you know. Here it is. Using it now. Okay. So what was my question? Tucker and the other guy, Fox, the fallout. Will he go away? Will he continue to sue? I think eventually, if he doesn't get a settlement of some sort, as just a here go away because of nuisance lawsuits type thing. But the first card is the Eight of Cups. This is abandonment of your current project. So here with the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Swords, there may be some retreat when it comes to trying to hoard, when it comes to trying to take, when it comes to trying to gain, when it comes to trying to be paranoid. He may just have to go and sit this one out because the fox is fighting the devil here. And the devil is fighting the fox. So with the Five of Wands and the Devil card, there is a back and forth happening here.
Here we go. Oh, there we are.
There is a back and forth happening, but he's up against Fox News. So I don't know if I don't believe this is necessary for him to try to fight this. I think he should move on to something else, the Eight of Cups, but there's some paranoia. He's bruised. Mind you, this is an ego trip now at this point with the Devil card. He can just suck it up and move on, but he wants to be famous. He doesn't need money. He wants to be famous. He wants to be on TV. And so that's his major fight. But I think he'll eventually walk away. What you get, Lena?
Yeah, well, I think both sides are a bit shell-shocked in a way, and then and so Fox has now got to focus on, Smartmatic and stuff like that. So they're leaving him lie for a while. And I think he's doing the same thing. Just, let's see what happens. I think the big tension or the bigger stuff is what can he take with him in terms of his reputation, his contacts, his whatever. I think that's what the disputes will be about down the road. He'll be trying to make off right now with stuff, and it's not the paper clips. You know what I mean? And then I think there will be some legal thing, which will be, Tucker, can you please give, we're going to enter into legal stuff now because you don't own that, whatever. But I think he will get offers. People like big mouths, and famous big mouths, get a megaphone for a while. Mm-hmm. So but the question, what about Russia? What about that?
Let's go into that.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at that.
Because Russia, they have tipped the hat to him a few times and said, hey, look our way. Because, he was Russian television too anyway. So,
yeah, that all just, didn't even stay in the news. You had a major broadcaster who was being broadcast, I think, every week on Russian state TV with their translations.
So, what's that relationship like? Was he even tempted to go that way, or are they going to try to make some little sweetheart deals? Or because I'm pretty sure he's done something for them, or they've done something for him. because he's not just out of the blue. There's a relationship there.
Yeah.
Because why not, offer this to anybody else?
Yeah, exactly.
What's that relationship like then?
What's that relationship like? I don't know.
Oh, what a creep, I swear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Okay.
What you get?
I think they think he's a child, I mean, okay. Here we have, the child on the galloping horse. This is we shall see. He'll do anything for money because he's a performing seal. That's all he is. Like you say, he doesn't need more money. So money, in terms of pentacles, are also the gold and the glory. It's like you said, they get this. He's after the glory, right? As the false knight. How does this camera work? As the false knight. I mean, it's just delirious. They really think he's stupid. That's interesting. But this could become a burden. I'm thinking to him, the fact that it'll be talked about for a few weeks, will he go to Russian news, will become a burden for him down the track. I don't know. What do you get?
Thank you, Tara by the Bay. He said that's a super chat for your drinky poo fund.
I don't normally drink alcohol anywhere near a reading, but I'm on holiday, and I've got heaps of excuses.
We didn't read Tuesday.
That's
right. Had cards. We didn't read Tuesday.
No, it'll be another few years before you see this on camera. But here we go. Cheers, all. Salud. Go, Johnny.
There is the Three of Cups and the Sun. The community is still strong for them as far as like Russia is concerned. They have more mouthpieces. It's kind of like you lose to Trump. Okay, we have more mouthpieces. We have more people in your government that also do things that you probably didn't know on behalf of us. The King and Queen of Swords, there's a team to this. They got it. They got their bases covered. But at the same time, the media here, the world card for me, and the Hangman, there is a bit of pause. This was a loss, though, because he was, even though his defense was, I'm an entertainer, nobody believes me. Yeah, they do. They do. They do indeed. And that is a loss for people who want to push propaganda, to where now they have to find a different avenue with the Hangman. And so it's a loss. As far as will they go out of their way to be friends with him? I don't think so necessarily, because they got more than just him,
Yeah. And I think this is what happens, that it's been such a monstrous circus. This would have been epic news a few years ago, an American anchor, invited to Russian news. And it's like, oh, well, maybe he'll go, maybe he won't. I mean, it's gobsmacking. Everyone's become so shock-proof,
And that's something too, because our news is horrible the news is supposed to report the horrible stuff because it's news. And so you get desensitized. It's like, oh, another one of them is doing another one of that, and then you just move on to the next story. So mangy, tacky, and gross Marjorie Taylor Greene herself said, now, mind you, this is coming from her, so automatically discounted, but I'm curious anyway. She said people are deleting their apps and boycotting Fox News because Tucker with an F has been fired. So is that true? Does anybody en masse in the Fox News arena really care?
So we just draw one card on it. Does anyone care?
I had one flip out already. I'll just take it.
So, will the MAGA faithful
Thank you,
delete the
Phoenix.
Hold on. This is funny. Look what I got.
Mm.
No, they're hostage. Now, I think what she's got wrong here is these guys aren't watching Fox through their app. They don't know that conversation. They are hostage to this channel for a while. There'll be a drift, I think. Over time, anything happens, but they don't know what to do now. They're in a bit of a panic, They think it's important.
I had the Two of Cups. They're still in love. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. They can't separate themselves. I love the one card draws.
I mean, it's
a love affair. They've been having this affair for what, 10 years, 15 years?
Go where for what reason? Tucker Carlson's not. Who cares? Bye. Okay, turn on Hannity. Wait for Judge Boxwood. Wait for all of the rest.
And they probably sleep through it all anyway. We probably shouldn't be worried.
I mean, it is a cyanide pill, so there is that. Speaking of pills, though, Ted Cruz is apparently recorded saying that he would like to stop Biden's certification as well. So I want to know if he'll get any calls, any visits, any letters, anything from Jack Smith about his January 6th involvement, possibly.
Right. So a look, basically, Ted Cruz, Jack Smith. Where's that guy? Something with Ted Cruz.
Cruz. Will you be hearing from Jack Smith?
Oh, that is the weirdest thing. Oh, okay. That's funny. Will I go?
Go right ahead.
Okay. Well, Ted Cruz will say anything anyone wants him to say, or
Page of Swords.
Yeah, it's like this is, in his case, he's like this. He literally has no spine. He's just a flip-flopper, And this isn't a problem for him. That's how he's always been. It's a problem, I think, for what's left of the GOP trying to whip the party into shape for big bills, or, to keep the focus on their warped agenda or whatever. This is their nightmare. He's now getting into the top 5, probably, of horror candidates around, or congressmen around. Look, he'll just keep going, and he may be skewered on this, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter with Cruz. He is completely indifferent. And it will be magnified here with the Empress. So there's a bit more to this story. It'll go so far, then get bigger, and then go the way of all the Cruz things. What did you get?
That's what I think too. I get the Page of Swords, so there's your liar, there's your snake, your slime ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Ted Cruz, so you don't expect anything but Ted Cruz isn't Ted Cruz. I think here too, is kind of hold yourself at the ready. I don't think there's a big to do right this moment. But there may be something to where he may need to be on guard. as Six of Swords as this thing transition. You have
Yeah.
to remember too, with the Six of Swords, you do move into the calmer waters, but you have to go through the brackish water, and then the slimy water, and then the dark water, and then the hard water, and then the rough water first. And then you have to go through the storm. And so then you get to the other side. And then there's the strength card. And so the strength card, the woman subdues the lion not by force. It's by conversation, with gentility, with grace, with mercy, with that type of thing. And so there is a certain amount of, if you really want to nail somebody to the wall, if you really want to create a perjury trap, you need something on your table first, and then see what they come with then. And so the Six of Swords, I think Jack Smith and his team sloshes through these waters first, and then they can have something should they want to target a table. But right now, I think it's all right. Maybe he'll go to Cancun and they can't reach him. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Okay. Disney sues DeSantis.
What? This is actually getting more interesting, I think. Because it's not, neither side are letting it drop. It could have drifted back to business as usual, but it's not. And I think it's another split in the nation. Are you for Disney or DeSantis? It's bizarre.
And what's so interesting is, like, during all of this, the headline is, Disney versus DeSantis. Disney just laid off like 7,000 people. So like, that's not the headline. It's like, okay, now Disney's the hero because they take on the crazy person. But
exactly. And anything Disney does, and it's not a pretty organization, let's not pretend, but it'll get away with everything now. Because it's a Robin Hood thing going on in reverse or something, It's weird. And I just
want to know what's the next step there. Like, what happens next?
That's a question. Okay, so I think it was today or yesterday that Disney has started legal proceedings that DeSantis willfully, corruptly used his power. So it's symbolic of all corporations. Can a government interfere like this? And that's a clever strategy by Disney lawyers, right? Make it big. Instead of fighting it like this, you make it much bigger issue.
Absolutely. Because at this point, you can't say they're not being targeted, because they are. And so they have an argument.
Yeah, that's where it was really dumb. It wasn't subtle. It wasn't Machiavellian. It wasn't, he could have set things in motion behind the scenes that come on 6 months later. No, he just went out there. It's interesting.
Tried to put someone on their board. It's like, why? What? Child, go away.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
He's got the Trump mentality, so maybe he will be the nominee one day. Revenge, revenge, revenge type thing.
Yeah, but it's like not clever or smart or meaningful or satisfying revenge. It's petty, yucky poo stuff.
Trump mentality.
Trump mentality, thank you. In a phrase. Yep.
What you get?
Well, a pile of problems for DeSantis is what I got. This, I think DeSantis's camp, is that the wife plus whoever she lets in? I don't know who's really in his ear. He needs new advisors, and I think there's a bit of a crisis. He started off, he was skating, and he just had to swagger up to the microphone, And now I think all his methods have failed. I think this is his people behind the scenes, blaming each other and trying to work out a new approach. But it's all emotion now, not his emotion, because he doesn't have any. Okay, he's got whatever that blood pressure is that reptiles have. He doesn't have emotion. But I think this is actually, again, about his people. They don't know what to do now. He's going to take a low profile for a little bit now, or alternatively, he could do that because he's taken some hits, or alternatively, this can be a shining light, so someone could shine light on more things that DeSantis has done. But look, if he would have been smarter to just do nothing for this, he would have actually creamed it. He's killing his own candidacy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Because, mind you,
oh my God.
anybody with a big company can be a potential donor. So shoot yourself in the foot. The big people here, the Nine of Pentacles. This might be Nine of Pentacles does not mean spite for those who are learning tarot. This does not mean that. But at the same time, when you have almost a endless pocket, you can do things in retaliation. And Disney, even though they're not the governor of Florida, they're not the governor of anything, they have a little more sway, sometimes a little more power, if you will, or at least a deeper pocket than DeSantis can yank out of Florida. So there is some sort of cooperation that they can also call upon here with the Ace of Swords.
Your camera's gone.
Oh, I think yours is frozen. Is it? Okay, you're kind of back now. The big money has a very long reach, and this may be something that he needs to keep in mind, is all. But whatever scheme is about to hit a roadblock too. The Seven of Swords meets the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords can be a blockage. It can be a delay. Some choices that need to be made, that type of thing.
There's two of me.
And so I think DeSantis has run up against someone more powerful than him, even as a governor of Florida. These people have very deep pockets, very long money. So this gets uglier. And it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I'm thrilled that they're keeping going with it, because it just keeps rubbing DeSantis's face in it.
And I mean, if you are trying, because he's not announced his candidacy, because if he does, he has to stop being governor.
Sorry, no.
He doesn't?
You used to live in a democracy. That was until this morning.
That's true.
As of this morning, Florida, you ready, has signed a special, what's the word? A special dispensation or something for him, so he can be governor and run. This is what you get.
Stop voting for Republicans.
This is not normal.
First, you had Donald Trump, who didn't have to divest in anything.
No.
And now him.
No.
Like, oh my, okay. Okay.
Sorry, now you have to go over the question again.
Well, we hadn't gone to the next one just yet.
Yeah.
So we're still on track.
Laurie from Positive Change. She says it's true, Lena. Yes, it's just happened.
Yeah, she lives there with the maniac. So
hi, Laurie.
Santos, whatever his name is this week, is running for re-election. Does he have a snowball's chance in Hades of actually being re-elected?
Well,
or is it just a money grab?
This guy, and you can't really blame him. He has not been hauled out. So He's a mini Trump more than DeSantis. He's a mini Trump.
And he settled
He
with
just
Brazil,
keeps
so he's
going.
not wanted anymore there.
Oh, oh.
Well, I don't think he is. You never know.
And I think it's Long Island that he represents.
Mhm.
Okay, let's have a look at Santos real.
Does he have any chance? Any chance whatsoever? Is there like a little light in the darkness? They don't want you now. So,
That's right.
but yes, reelect me.
They really don't. Yeah. Oh no. No, that's funny. Will I?
Yes, go right ahead.
Will I go? Oh, this is a very wet reading. He's wetter than. Okay. Emotion. The emotion in relation to him running, you've got the emotion of the people who, well, everyone's upset. Okay, actually, let's put it that way. Everyone's upset. There's the people who didn't want a Republican anyway and were just sort of coerced into thinking this really nice guy who ticks diversity boxes is going to be different from other Republicans. So they're disappointed, and people who don't want their representatives to be out and out criminals wanted in two countries are upset. But is it enough? They don't want him. There's a bit of a juggle, and I think the juggle will be over legalities. Will he be allowed to run? So maybe the fact he's talking about it will mean someone will bring a legal case through on something. Maybe, like, I think they're going to make it harder. But in the end, he just floats off and does something else. Like.
I think he literally has a book of schemes and says, "Okay, I'm done with that one. Here's the next one." It's like
page 42. I haven't done that for at least 3 years. I'm going to do that one. Yeah.
I literally think that like he's done a little bit of everything that you could possibly do to break the law. I do get the 3 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. So a small community and a big community here. And then there's the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is about progression. Let's move forward. Let's move on. Let's take control of this situation. And King of Wands is my card for a new leader. And then there's the 9 of Wands. Pressure. Does he have a chance? I'm going to say no, because the communities are already in motion going that direction. So it's like, just, you know what? We didn't like you the moment you got in, because then we heard, and mind you, there was a smile, and this has been reported a few places. It still just has never picked up a lot of esteem. A newspaper locally vetted him and told you he was a liar and a crook and a thief and a this. Nobody read it. Yep. So it's not like nobody knew. Somebody did report DeSantis. Santos is he'll probably be Ron DeSantis Jr. next in his next go around. But nobody said anything. Nobody did anything.
Yeah, this is what keeps happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's that thing that they arrest the boots but not the suits, and it's so true.
Which is what I still don't understand.
You're not treated like a criminal.
No. Well, speaking of criminals, Enrique Torres, one of the Proud Boys leaders, said that he blames Donald Trump for everything that has been happening. And a few other ones have blamed Donald Trump. I think that shaman guy, he did it too. And some other, of course, a bunch of the 560,000 people that were arrested. A lot of them were echoing the same thing. Donald Trump made us do this. Donald Trump made us do this. Donald Trump didn't make you do anything.
Do anything, huh?
But they're blaming him for the reason they were there. And I want to know, does that have any significance whatsoever? Because it's just my word against yours. You can blame me for anything. Doesn't mean I made you do anything.
See, it's hard, isn't it? Like, because we try not to relish other people's discomfort. However, there's a certain joy when you see someone finally join the dots with this guy and what happened.
Because I think there will be a significance maybe socially, but
that's
legally,
what I mean. But legally, not so much. You're old enough to drive a car. You're old enough to have an independent thought. Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it?
It's significant because I keep saying it's that jihad mentality. Go blow yourself up, and then I'll stay here and be all right. And then you go do my bidding. You go do my will. You go do the destruction, and then I'm safe. Donald Trump's not in jail. Y'all are. When he did get arrested, he went back home.
And what will happen, I think, if there's more momentum on this, it's another pressure back on Trump because he's not quick on his feet. So if this could come back and ambush him somewhere. Oh my God, I just started the card script. Oh my wordy.
Well,
yeah. So,
what you get?
Well, it starts with the tower.
Why not?
Boom. Right. But I don't think it's a Trump Tower. Sorry about the expression, everyone. I think it's a Proud Boy Tower sort of thing. Look, they've tried everything. They thought they were the Crusaders going off for him. They didn't get the message right because, again, I keep getting this lately. There's a naivety, a childishness, a stupidity to this macho, drongo, knuckle-dragging, who made me do it, who made me do it. It's really backwater stuff. Look, it's in the back alleys of Venice. This one. Backwater stuff. And the judge is going to see it like that, I think, which is, I'm sorry, Mr. Torres, last time I looked, you were over 12.
He didn't say he was going to buy you a PlayStation. He just said, go down there and raise hell, and you did. Some of you were under the impression he'd pay your legal bills, which, if you thought about it, means that what I'm about to do is going to result in legal bills, so maybe I shouldn't do it. Sure. But that Seven of Cups, there's some confusion. Gaslighting is Donald Trump's middle name. It's not John. And so that's his middle name. And then that's where the fighting comes from, with the Five of Wands, the bickering, the fighting, and all of that type of stuff. The Two of Swords with the strength, he can't force you to do anything. This was all one of these things to where you should have thought about it and felt about it a little bit more. I understand the cult mentality. I get it, but still, he didn't push the program buttons in your back and turn the key, and then you just march toward. You still did this on your own. And so, but I get the Queen of Swords, which could be in a legal capacity, or I'll go to another meaning here in a minute, with the Moon. So there's something that lurks beyond the surface, but it's not something that is going to, by Enrique Torres' mouth alone, going to result in a legal charge. It's one of those things that has to continue to build and bubble up, and you can't hide it anymore. It's like, that is one of them things, but him alone, no, that means nothing. But there could also be some lurking vindictiveness too. The Queen of Swords is very, very sharp, very with it, but can also be very sharp and against you. And so very vindictive, a revenge type person. The swords are very mental. They live up here. And so that revenge is not a thing that's foreign to them. And then here with the Moon card, there's maybe some treachery. Look underneath the surface. Something else is there. And then with fighting in the middle too. I mean, there may be a concerted effort in those web pages that they meet on that Donald Trump is no longer our king type thing. So just may want to watch out as well, or not. I mean,
Yeah. But also, what I want to see is, as that's being talked about in court, and some of the others are using it too, people asking Trump, what's your opinion on Torres saying this? And I'm hoping he's going to put his foot in it, because he'll always save himself.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll end up having to say, oh, no, I was just saying, have a good day, boys.
So we'll do one more here. Kirsten Sinema from Arizona, the fake progressive, who is now an independent. She wants to be John McCain, the maverick of her party. So she fooled, as is going on now. Democrats win and then they flip to Republican. That's the new scheme now. And so she won. She said she was a progressive. Now she isn't, of course. She never was. And her seat is coming up for someone else to sit there. And she has been out fundraised by the Democrats, like 3-1 type thing. And then there's a bunch of other Republicans running for her seat too, of course. And they were making some big noise about the sheriff there in Arizona, he's a very, very, very Trump MAGA person. And so he's running for it too. But the Democrat has outraised her, out fundraised her anyway. So does she have a chance of holding on to her seat? Can she hold on? Because now people feel like they got duped because she switched on them too, like a DeSantis, like a Santos type thing. Does she have a choice?
Ooh. I can go if you like.
Go right ahead.
Well, this is interesting. So the first card was the Lovers. And I thought, maybe Cinema's going to make some deals to soften her exit or something, which would be interesting, but obviously not right. Obviously really wrong, because the rest of the cards saying, do not trust this woman. She'll stab you as soon as look at you. They have to make a plan right now how to minimize the damage and get this Democrat up, because she has proved to be in league with the devil. Literally awful, awful, awful decisions and priorities and lies and deceptions. And she's got a pretty face and nice sundresses, and it's hard to look at her as this criminal, vice-ridden thing that she is. She's a real problem for any party she's in.
Mm-hmm.
She's pleasant. Much easier when it looks like Ted Cruz, right?
Yeah. Well, just how she got elected, you have to look like your constituents, and then you change your face after that.
Yeah.
There's a man who starts a new journey. King of Cups and the Fool card there.
Do you think that's the other damn candidate?
I think so. Because her, with the Hierophant here, meets the Death card, major change. I think she goes and does something else. 4 swords, you got to sit this one out. Boo-boo. I think it's over for her, but we'll see. Because never leave it out of the realm of possibilities for people to mess
she could get a job on Fox.
Well, Gabby Tuffert, whatever her name was.
Yeah. She's another weird experiment in AI. That woman,
the Hawaiian girl. She's from Hawaii, I think. Whatever she was.
But she's always been in the wrong party. You know what I mean? She's seriously weird.
She can go work there. They got some openings, I heard.
No, Hawaii deserves better.
Okay, well, thank you, Lena, for Tulsi Gabbard. Thank you. I was just going to say, what's that child's name, and leave it at that. So, thank you, Lena, for joining me.
Oh, it was my pleasure. And then, sorry, I was eating cold pizza while we were talking, but I'm starving.
Things happen here, that's life.
Well, take care. Thanks, everyone, for dropping in. That was awesome.
So we will see y'all whenever. I'll see y'all Sunday, but we'll see y'all whenever.
Yeah,
Thank y'all for joining.
And thanks, Lucky Girl.